both GMs, both Protoss, and this is going to be very interesting. I'm super excited. I am joined by Novak. Novak, I bet you're super excited to see some PvP action. I know how much you love PvP.
I can't tell if you were being sarcastic, but I definitely actually do like PvP. It's such a edge matchup where one decision can kind of decide your fate for a lot of the game, depending on how you macro and kind of your decision making going forward. But yeah, we'll see who can come on top in this knife fight of a matchup.
So spawning in our bottom left position, it is our red Protoss coming from Flipside Tactics. It is Mcanning.
And in the top left, in blue, playing Protoss as well, representing Storm Gaming, it is PiLiPiLi.
I'm super excited to see some PiLiPiLi action. I mean, it's both these players are so high in. I mean, if Mcanning were to take down PiLiPiLi, I think that's his one of the hardest competition he has this tournament outside of Jon Snow. If he ends up going against Jon Snow, I think it'll be a little bit harder for him to take this series. But I think if he gets over this hurdle, I'll expect Mcanning to take it all the way to the finals, unless he meets Jon Snow before the finals. But I think how the bracket's set up, I think Mcanning and Jon Snow will end up at each other at the finals. Either way, this should be some great matches. I'm really hoping for PiLiPiLi. I believe his highest ranking so far is top 4 with this tournament. So he definitely wants to try to fight for that $1,000 prize for the global finals coming up here soon. But so whoever wins this tournament today has this a guaranteed spot for that final. So yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're already seeing quite a bit of variance here in this PvP with PiLiPiLi going for the quick double gas, indicating some form of aggression he's going to be throwing here at Mcanning. And Mcanning actually scouting it out. He went straight for the natural to see if there's any sort of expansion. Didn't see that, and then popped straight into the main. So he can kind of make some guesses as to what's going to be, coming at him. I mean, he knows there's going to be some form of attack, so it's going to be up to him to kind of defend this, and up to PiLiPiLi to decide how he's going to attack and where he's going to go from that point on. We see actually double gateways coming out here for Mcanning.
Yeah, double gateways and this hidden Stargate in the back. So what do you think he's going to toss out? A Phoenix and then just rush in with Adept? I mean, there's so many different possibilities. I'm like, you are the resident Protoss player, especially on a higher end caliber. What do you think his thought process is with the Stargate? Do you think it's going to be like a Phoenix and then just kind of rush in with Adept, or do you think this? I mean, it's such an interesting build. I mean, he is going for the warp research. So Phoenix with, I don't know.
So the Stargate coming out by PiLiPiLi here. I would have to guess that it's probably going to be an Oracle just to get in and maybe get some worker kills. Like the Phoenix is cool because you can get in and maybe kill the Mothership Core really quick. But again, there's photon overcharges, which will kind of block out your Phoenix. And you've only got one Phoenix, so you can't really kill any probes. So yeah, it's going to be the Oracle. Which just makes more sense all around. You're going to be able to do more with the Oracle at this point in time. And depending on how many anti-air units that are out here by Mcanning, we'll see if he's going to be able to defend this. But looks like he should be able to have 2 Stalkers out, which, still the Oracle can get in there and do a lot of damage depending on where that Mothership Core is positioned with its photon overcharges.
Yeah, and we do see Mcanning's probe over here in the corner. It looks like he might try to set up a proxy pylon, or he's just scouting like crazy. I don't know. It was an interesting scout path, if that's what he decided to do. Maybe he just thought there might be a hidden Stargate.
He doesn't really know what is actually being thrown at him yet. Like, it could still be proxy DTs or something, so he might have just been kind of looking around to see if he could find a Dark Shrine on the left-hand side, or possibly just a proxy Stargate or anything. So I think he's just he's got the probe out, and he's just kind of looking around. And we see him going to his natural, even with that probe. And, the first Oracle is well along its way. The slightly later Mothership Core, because of that, we actually saw PiLiPiLi sacrifice the Mothership Core in order to get that Stargate out faster.
Yeah, so PiLiPiLi has 0 Mothership Core. Yeah, 0 Mothership Core. The warp cannon is finished, or the warp gate's finished.
Oh, wait, Oracle actually already got in. Do you have any kills? Yeah, I got 3 kills.
And then and PiLiPiLi goes to 3 bases behind it, which is kind of interesting. So Mcanning's like, okay, he's got 1 base this whole time, and then PiLiPiLi throws 2 bases down at the same time. And so now PiLiPiLi might actually start pumping out ahead, because Mcanning, his second base is not saturated at all. I don't think he realizes that his probes, there he goes. His probes were rallied to his main base, but now he's going to throw some probes down. So Mcanning really was technically sitting on 1 base this entire time. So even though he did have that Nexus up, PiLiPiLi has actually had 2 bases fully saturated way before Mcanning did. I don't know if that's Mcanning was just nervous about a possible attack or what, but now we have 2 Oracles coming in, and they're just getting free kills, and there goes that saturated base, no longer saturated again.
4, 5, 6, and but both of the oracles now going down to the Phoenixes. But we're seeing such a crazy worker lead here for PiLiPiLi. 44, I believe. Yeah, 44 to 26. I mean, as long as PiLiPiLi can kind of hold on to the ground that he's gotten himself in this game, he should be in a pretty strong position to continue forward. We see 2 Stargates now here for PiLiPiLi, so he's gonna be able to pump out enough Phoenixes here to defend against the air army here of Mcanning. And yeah, I mean, PiLiPiLi's in a nice spot.
Oh, look at what a great snipe on that Phoenix. So the Phoenix comes in for Mcanning, try to do some counter damage to that Oracle, and gets 2 probes, but then loses a Phoenix in that battle, which was this great great peeling from PiLiPiLi. That was a 2v3 Phoenix fight, and or excuse me, a 2v2 Phoenix fight, and Pili comes out ahead. So he's going to try to come around to the right-hand side and try to get more damage done, but there's Mothership Core waiting here to guard with the piling overcharge. Stalkers are here. Mcanning's not going to be able to do much, and still, Mcanning's second base is not saturated in comparison to PiLiPiLi. PiLiPiLi is just coming out ahead in so many ways with this. It's just absolutely incredible.
I mean, he's doubling him in workers. At this point, it's just kind of a waiting game here for Pili. It's going to be up to Mcanning. Maybe he can somehow get in and start doing a lot of worker harassment. If he can somehow pick off a lot of workers, buy himself some time, and defend against any sort of attack that Pili's going to be doing, that's going to be his way to get in. To go further into this game and to get himself a victory. But I mean, the only option he's got are these Phoenixes. We're seeing him actually. Whoa, a fleet beacon coming out here by Pili, so we could start to see some Tempests or maybe even some carriers coming out, or he could just be trying to get some air upgrades. But we haven't seen him start off with that, so I doubt he'll go further into that. Or he wouldn't be getting the fleet beacon if he didn't have the first 2 levels of air upgrade. So he's probably going to be getting Tempest or carriers.
But look how many Phoenixes. This is going to be super annoying for Mcanning to try to defend against him. He's really got nothing. He's got the Mothership Core that's going to get sniped basically immediately. I mean, he won, piling overcharge, no big deal. Probes get picked up.
Yeah,
GG gets called really quick. I mean, Mcanning knew that he was behind it. He thought he was ahead because he saw that PiLiPiLi was only on 1 base, but I mean, and then PiLiPiLi threw down 2 Nexuses basically at the same time, and just got super ahead. Those Oracles came in, did so much damage, and holy smokes, that was incredible. Just
I mean, it was just
mind
kind of
games up a wall.
Yeah, a bit of a chain reaction.
Oh,
yeah.
So towards the end, it was a carry. Awesome.
Yeah, so we did have carriers coming out there at the end. I mean, it looked like Pili was just kind of playing for that air army, which he had so many Phoenixes there at the end, and I understand why Mcanning probably left, because he realized he was going to lose all of his Phoenixes, right? And either he has to run away with his Phoenixes, which leaves his mineral line completely exposed because he can't do a head-up engagement with the number of Phoenixes that Pili had, or he loses all of his Phoenixes, and then maybe he's able to push the other Phoenixes away with his Stalkers, but then he just flies away, and then he's going to die to the counterattack. So, I mean, it kind of made sense at that point for Mcanning to leave. But we'll see if he's going to be able to defend, because, I mean, that was just a pretty standard... I mean, that's the fastest Oracle you can get right there. It was so quick we even missed the first one coming out, or at least I did. I thought it popped, and then I saw in the production tab, 1 Oracle almost done. So I'm like, oh, there's no way the Oracle's already out. And turns out, yeah, it was already out on the other side of the map. And, that's just how fast that first Oracle came.
Yeah, it's that first Oracle got 3 damage, then went around the map, paired up with that second Oracle, and then they did 10 more worker kills, and it was incredible so far. Just how Pili just controlled that, just super air army to control that. And talk about mind games. If I was Zerg going against a Protoss and he's on 1 base, I was like, man, this noob, he's only on 1 base, blah 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 blah. And then I look and it's like, oh, he's got 3 bases. Oh, he's been fully saturated 10 minutes longer than I have. Oh, I'm dead. And that's just mind games, and this is why these are GM players. So let's get into game number 2. Spawning in our north position, it is our red Protoss player. He is down a game from Flipside Tactics. It is Mcanning.
Yep, and on the opposite side of the map, in the bottom left, playing Psystorm Gaming, he took game number 1. It is PiLi. Playing Protoss. There's a lot of P's in that.
Yeah, PiLiPiLi playing Protoss for Psystorm Gaming. Well, Psystorm doesn't have that P sound.
I know, but it's got a P there, though.
Yeah. As soon as I said it, I was like, oh yeah, P. Wait, Psystorm. Stupid English.
Yeah, we can
So
blame.
I'm excited. I mean, these games are going on so far. I always feel bad. I always try to encourage people to sign up, and everyone's like, "Oh, nothing but GM show up." I'm like, but it doesn't matter. I want people to sign up regardless. I always get first round knocked out because I play against high end. But last week, like I was saying, I played against the master and I almost won. So it doesn't just because GM show up doesn't mean you can't advance far. And again, who cares? It's awesome opportunity to get casted by amazing people. I think last week was Tempo and Jake. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that. I forgot exactly who cast last week. But you get opportunity to get casted by amazing people. And like we said before, guys, this is for the NA week number 9. Whoever wins this gets invited for the global finals. And the global finals is going to be $1,000 cash prize on top of which you get casted by Roddy. Like, who wouldn't want to get casted by Roddy? I mean, that's just absolutely incredible. So make sure you guys tune in for that. So keep following the channel. So let's jump into this game. So far, again, very different builds. We have PiLiPiLi going for this Nexus first, and then Mcanning is the one that's going for this early aggression play. I mean, talk about polar opposite builds from the first game. I mean, not only are the players doing opposite builds from each other, but they're doing opposite builds from the game before. It's just like mind games. Like, I feel like with Zerg, you have to do the same opening every time just to cement yourself in defensive positions so you don't get lost or something dumb. I mean, with Protoss, you have so much variety.
Yeah. Speaking of variety, we're actually seeing a slight variance here by Mcanning too. He's pumping out some of these adepts, so it looks like not only is he going to attack with the Stargate, but he's going to go ahead and try and get some units out there in the front to hopefully maybe even kind of throw off PiLiPiLi as to what exactly he's doing, because he's going to see the double gateway, and he might assume it could be some form of a gateway attack. But we're also going to see that coupled up here with the Stargate, which, I mean, I think is pretty common here. PiLiPiLi should be able to see it, but he doesn't know if maybe there's Dark Templars behind it, or it could possibly be just a straight expand right behind it, just slight aggression. But, yeah, we're seeing the Stargate with the Nexus follow-up here.
Oh, what a great little gateway block to stop those shades from going into the base.
Oh, yeah, that is good. Yeah, and he's actually going to be able to force these back with the Stalker. So he should be able to kill off one of these unless the shade goes off, but no, it's going to go down. There we go. So that's already a pretty nice little start here by PiLiPiLi, able to push back some of this aggression. And in fact, oh my gosh, the Adept actually went. So he's going to lose the second Adept here as well. If PiLiPiLi, yeah, there we go. I was going to say sticks with it. But the Oracle should be flying in here pretty soon. But you know what? The Oracle is just a little bit too late. If it had come in just slightly more quickly with the Adept able to kind of distract here with the Stalkers out, it might have worked out pretty well, but nope.
Yeah, so this Oracle is going to come in, but PiLiPiLi, there's a reason why these guys are GM players. And look at PiLiPiLi's already in a defensive position. This Oracle is going to get 2 kills.
No, not
one
even.
1 kill, and he almost gets sniped himself. I mean, it was a interesting idea with the Adepts coming in and trying to pull those Stalkers to kind of the north end of the base, while the Oracle comes on the south end where the mineral line is. But PiLiPiLi just, was like, okay, I killed the Adept, and I'm going to go back to defensive. But we do see on the left side another Oracle. But again, PiLiPiLi is Stalker. Like, he's
and
so
the Mothership Core is Photon Overcharge. Like, PiLiPiLi is ready and defended. We're seeing, I like this, using a Stasis Ward there at the 3rd, so if PiLiPiLi tries to go for a really quick expansion, I mean, he's going to have to clear that up anyways. So if he sends a probe there straight away, it's going to get stuck, which is going to delay the expansion even further, which is pretty nice, and we're seeing that 3rd base coming out by Mcanning. So the nice thing about these aggressive moves is that it gives you map control and allows you to kind of, sit back and be defensive and to kind of make some decisions here. And we're seeing PiLiPiLi is kind of forced to sit here, and he can't really take that 3rd base as quickly as Mcanning, who is behind in probes, but once he gets that 3rd base up, is going to be able to make use of that better economy.
So we do see a Warp Prism coming across the map, but it is spotted by Mcanning. So this Warp Prism may not do that much damage. It is filled with a couple of Adepts, and there's going to be a couple more available for warping. But again, Mcanning sees it. He's just kind of following it back. He's like, okay, where are you going to go with this? But like you said before, here's a Stasis Ward, and it's going to pick up that probe.
Yep.
So now Mcanning knows, okay, he was going to try to go for his 3rd. So now I know he needs to do something to either stop that 3rd from going down or just keep up with this defensive. But Warp Prism is going to get stopped, and that is it.
I mean, this is just kind of a formality of PiLi trying to get in with that Warp Prism. But it's not going to get any damage done. He's kind of saying, yeah, I mean, you've been following it the whole way through. I mean, I'm going to try and sneak in here, but no, okay, you defended me. So, and now the 3rd base for PiLiPiLi goes up. Still ahead in worker count. So not in a terrible position to actually be in, all things considered. So even though his third base is going to be, up later, I don't think it's necessarily. I mean, yeah, he could have had it up more quickly, which would have been a bigger advantage for him to go further on. But I don't feel like it's that big of a detriment for him to have had that delayed for so long as it could have been.
I mean, and if you think about it, Mcanning does have his base up. In theory, he had got 4 probes on it. Really not that much. I mean, Philly will probably have double those probes as soon as his Nexus is done. So in the end, it doesn't feel like he's that far behind.
And here's another thing. Actually, Mcanning doesn't even have the gases on that third base of his. I wonder if he was or still is considering some form of a timing attack. Now we're just seeing him get those 2 gases there on that natural of his, but that's
what an amazing link.
Quite a bit later than PiLi's.
So these oracles are, they have 8 kills so far. They did a couple more probe kills, but I mean, PiLi has so many probes that it's like, okay, it's kind of more water off the back. But like I said before, Mcanning's third base has 7 probes on it, when PiLi's third base has 14. Like I said, he's going to double it so quickly that PiLi's ahead. I mean, yeah, technically his third base was slightly delayed, but now he's ahead. It's just one of those. PiLi's so just on point with just planning ahead with everything that it's just absolutely incredible that looks like he does pick off that first oracle. So now there's only 1 oracle floating around, and the oracle harass is kind of dead at this point.
Yeah, I love using the oracles for the vision, though, just keeping tabs on the army. We saw him use it on the warp prism earlier. Unfortunately, he doesn't have it tagged up now. That'd be one of those things where if I had the oracles out on the map, I'd be actively looking for that warp prism. But I guess he's kind of aware that it's not with the main army, so he's got that floating phoenix there. Going to be able to kind of deter this warp prism a little bit, but yeah, it's going to get completely blocked. That actually gets it, knocks it completely out of the sky. Nice little lift there on the adept too to make sure it stays within the photon overcharge range.
So we do see another stasis ward blocking the 4th hatcher, and then you remember you're a
remember what I was supposed to remember though.
What?
Something about Brood War. you cut out there for a moment. Sorry.
Oh really? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, interesting. That was weird. I didn't realize I.
So something about Protoss and Brood War, I assume.
Do you remember what the old stasis ward used to do in Brood Wars?
Yeah, it took units. Yeah, just kind of like the stasis takes them out of the battle.
Yeah, so you used to be able to stasis ward the mineral lines.
A huge revelation actually going on right there in the middle again of the map there by that oracle.
Gets all these stalkers, and the best part of that is because it gives vision not only to the units, but to what those units see. So not only is he seeing the stalkers, but he's seeing these immortals. And so he knows this is an army. He has to deal with blink stalkers with immortals. He needs to figure out something to do with. I mean, Mcanning's got immortals of his own and an Archon. So it looks like Mcanning's army has got the better half of this. If they were to go to engage him right now, I think Mcanning could take it. However.
It'd be very, very close.
His range upgrade is going to finish before PiLiPiLi's as well. So if there was a time to attack, it would be right when this +1 finishes. But we do see the army coming out for PiLiPiLi, and Mcanning sees it, so he knows. He's like, okay, it's coming.
Yeah, PiLi's going for the attack here. He's got more Archons, which would be great, but I think that Mcanning's got a little bit more Zealots. We'll see if the Archons can get in really strong positioning here for PiLiPiLi, who is also probably about 1 or 2 immortals down, considering the reinforcement rate here. We will see exactly 2 more for Mcanning here at this attack here, as that second one just now pops out. So that's a pretty strong immortal count. We'll see if the Stalkers can kind of get in position and not get totally struck here. PiLiPiLi trying to get up in the ramp. There's so many Zealots coming in. Oh man, are they going to get the surround on the Immortals? Or it looks like the Archons in the back are able to strike up a lot of those Zealots, and now they're pushing forward. A lot of Stalkers in the back. And
yeah, the Stalkers in the back are just doing so much range damage. The Immortals are just wrecking him. And Mcanning just can't hold this. Nothing's going to be able to do this. Cannons are helping out a little bit. I mean, he's thinning out the herd a little bit, but GG gets called, and there's just too much Stalkers to play against. And PiLi takes it. What